Welcome to a new episode. The place where English becomes clearer, richer, and so much more enjoyable. In a world full of grammar rules, long vocabulary lists, and endless study methods, we often forget one important truth. Language isn't about memorizing, it's about using it, expressing yourself confidently, speaking naturally, and choosing the words that bring your ideas to life. And that's exactly what today's episode is all about. Today, we're not simply learning new phrases. We're exploring 20 of the most common and powerful English idioms, expressions native speakers use every single day, and that advanced English learners master with ease. Idioms that will make your speech smoother, more natural, and much closer to the way English is truly spoken. But we're going deeper than just giving meanings. We'll uncover the origin of each idiom, the real story behind it, and why it exists. You'll learn how to pronounce each one correctly, avoid the common mistakes that many learners make, and hear natural examples that help the meaning stick instantly. No matter why you're learning English, studying, working, preparing for an exam, or improving for yourself, this episode is designed to upgrade your communication skills and boost your confidence. So get ready for a journey through language, culture, and expression. A journey that will take your English to a more fluent, more expressive, and more natural level. Let's begin and unlock the world of idioms together. The first idiom is to bite the bullet. Bite as in to bite something, and bullet as in something you put in a gun. To bite the bullet means to do something difficult or unpleasant with bravery. You don't want to do it, it's something very hard or unpleasant, but you do it anyway because you're brave. This idiom actually comes from the battlefield many years ago. If a soldier had a wound and needed a painful medical procedure, there was no anesthetic or painkillers, so doctors would give the soldier a bullet to bite down on. Whether it helped or not, that's where the idiom comes from. Understanding the origins of idioms helps you remember and use them properly. Let's take a real question as an example. I didn't really want to study law, but I was the only one in my family who got high grades in their A-levels. My mother sat me down one day and said, "It's either medicine or law." I went to a hospital for work experience and fainted when I saw blood. I'm too squeamish for medicine, so I decided to bite the bullet and study law. Common collocations. To bite the bullet. I decided to bite the bullet. I chose to bite the bullet. I had to bite the bullet. Correct pronunciation is stressing bite. Bite the bullet, not bite the bullet. The next idiom is a piece of cake. This means something is very easy. We often use it to reassure someone who is worried about something. If my little boy was worried about a maths test, I'd say, "Don't worry, it'll be a piece of cake." There's debate about the origin, but the easiest way to remember it is, a piece of cake is pleasant and easy to eat. You might also hear a cakewalk, meaning something very pleasant and easy. A concrete example. To qualify as a lawyer takes around 6 years of study and experience. To qualify as an English teacher takes only 6 weeks. The pay isn't as good, but the clients are nicer. Teaching English is a piece of cake compared to practicing law. A common mistake is dropping the article, saying it's piece of cake. This lowers your IELTS score. Correct as a piece of cake. Pronunciation. Stress piece. The next idiom is kill two birds with one stone, meaning to accomplish two goals with one action. It comes from Greek mythology, the story of Icarus, where they killed a bird with one stone to get feathers, to build wings to escape a cave. Example: my wife's birthday is in November and Christmas is in December, so I decided to kill two birds with one stone and buy her one present for both occasions. She was happy because she got one nice expensive ring instead of two cheaper gifts. A common mistake is using kill instead of killed when talking about the past. The next idiom is to let the cat out of the bag, meaning to reveal a secret, often by mistake. Literally, if a cat is let out of a bag, it's nearly impossible to put it back. Same with secrets. Example: for my 40th birthday my wife bought me a special watch. We have the same credit card account, so when she bought it I got an alert on my phone with the exact amount. The phone let the cat out of the bag a little, but it was still a nice surprise. Pronunciation: stress cat and bag. Common mistake: missing articles. Let cat out of bag, incorrect. The next idiom is don't put all your eggs in one basket. It means don't concentrate all your resources in one area, diversify to minimize risk. Literally, if you put all your eggs in one basket and drop it, all your eggs break. We use it with career choices, investments, etc. Example: with developments in AI, I don't think it's wise for me to rely on just being an IELTS teacher. It would be foolish to put all my eggs in one basket. The next idiom is once in a blue moon, meaning something happens very rarely, less than once a year. Literally, a blue moon is rare. It happens when there are 2 full moons in one calendar month, which occurs every 2 or 3 years. Example: I used to go out nearly every night, but since I've had kids, it's really once in a blue moon. Most of my friends have settled down or moved away, so it's rare that we're all together at the same time. A common mistake is using the idiom when it's not appropriate. You should only use it when you're clearly talking about how often something happens, and the answer is very rarely. Next are 2 related idioms: burn the midnight oil and burn the candle at both ends. Burn the midnight oil means working very hard, often late into the night, but it doesn't necessarily have a negative meaning. It comes from the time before electricity, when people worked using oil lamps at night. Burn the candle at both ends means working too much and exhausting yourself. It originally referred to wealthy people in France who lit both ends of a candle, wasting it. Over time, the meaning shifted to burning yourself out by working too much and partying too much. Example using both: I used to burn the candle at both ends when I was a lawyer, working 80 to 100 hours a week and going out afterwards. Now I still burn the midnight oil, but you'll find me in bed by 9 p.m. instead of partying. The next idiom is at the drop of a hat, meaning to do something immediately, without hesitation. Historically, people used hats as signals. When someone dropped their hat, a fight or a race would start instantly. Example: we rent our home even though we can afford to buy one. We value freedom, and if you own a home you're stuck in one location. But if you rent, you can move anywhere at the drop of a hat. Next is don't cry over spilled milk, meaning don't waste time being upset over something that already happened and cannot be changed. Example: I give feedback on student essays. Some students are happy to learn from mistakes, while others complain for days. There's no point crying over spilled milk, just learn and move on. The next idiom is you can't judge a book by its cover, meaning you shouldn't judge people or things based on appearance alone. Example: I believe you can't judge a book by its cover. We should judge people by character, not clothes. My wife disagrees. She says someone with millions of views on YouTube shouldn't wear the same shirt every day. Next is don't count your chickens before they hatch, meaning don't assume something will happen until it actually happens. Example: jewelry usually loses value after buying it, but many of my watches have increased in value. I don't want to count my chickens, but if I sold them, I'd probably make more money than I paid. The next idiom is to go the extra mile, meaning to put in more effort than required. Example: instead of quickly listing idioms, I go the extra mile by explaining origins and giving examples. My wife goes the extra mile in cooking. If I cook steak, I just cook it. She adds sauces, oils, and multiple types of potatoes. The next idiom is raining cats and dogs, used to describe very heavy rain. The origin is debated, but one vivid explanation is that in the past, cities had poor drainage. During storms, streets flooded, and animals like cats and dogs drowned. When the rain stopped, people found their bodies on the streets. A very unpleasant image, but one that helps you remember the idiom. Example: where I live is beautiful, beaches, forests, lakes, mountains, but it's Ireland, so it's usually raining cats and dogs, and you can't enjoy it much. Common mistakes: mixing the order and saying raining dogs and cats, wrong. Using the wrong tense. It rained cats and dogs. Past: it rains cats and dogs. General: it's raining cats and dogs, now. The next idiom is to throw in the towel, meaning to quit something that has become too difficult or impossible. It comes from boxing. When a boxer is too injured to continue, the trainer throws a towel into the ring to stop the fight. Example: I try to eat healthy, good breakfast, good lunch, but when I get home tired and my wife has cooked and there's wine and chocolate everywhere, it's easy to throw in the towel in the evenings. Next is cross that bridge when you come to it, meaning don't worry about a future problem until it happens. Historically, bridges used to be dangerous or required tolls, so people would worry about them in advance. The idiom means, deal with the problem later, not now. Example: I know AI will replace teachers one day, and it worries me, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. For now, I'll enjoy teaching. Next comes two idioms from ancient Rome. The first is Rome wasn't built in a day, meaning significant achievements take time. Rome became the greatest city in the world over centuries, not overnight. Example: people tell me to grow the biggest IELTS YouTube channel quickly, but Rome wasn't built in a day. I'll do it one video at a time. It's also used to comfort someone who's upset about not improving quickly, like telling a child after losing a football match that improvement takes time. The next Roman idiom is when in Rome, do what the Romans do, often shortened to when in Rome. It means when you're in a foreign country, you should respect the local customs, culture, and behavior. Origin. In early Catholic tradition, Milan and Rome had different fasting days. The rule became, when in Rome, follow Rome's fasting customs. Example. In Ireland, taking someone's photo without asking is rude, but in Vietnam people take pictures constantly without permission. I feel uncomfortable, but when in Rome. So now you know all of these different idioms that Band 9 students use. These idioms include, to bite the bullet, a piece of cake, to kill two birds with one stone, to let the cat out of the bag, don't put all your eggs in one basket, once in a blue moon, burn the midnight oil, burn the candle at both ends, at the drop of a hat, don't cry over spilled milk, you can't judge a book by its cover, don't count your chickens before they hatch, to go the extra mile, it's raining cats and dogs, to throw in the towel, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Rome wasn't built in a day. When in Rome. All of these idioms are extremely common in natural English and very useful for speaking exams like IELTS, but only when used correctly, in the right context, with the right grammar and pronunciation. Using them incorrectly doesn't improve your score, it lowers it. But understanding the origin, examples, and mistakes helps you use them naturally like native speakers. And that wraps up today's journey. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing your time with us. Remember, every story, every idea, and every moment we explore together brings us one step closer to understanding ourselves and the world around us. Don't forget to subscribe, stay curious, and keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay inspired and keep chasing those ideas.